Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of Sunscreen Saturday. Today we're doing a mineral, and this is one that I think people have mentioned to me a few times. It is the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen SPF 50. So what we have here is complete and utter blindness. Zinc oxide 10%, titanium dioxide 8%. It is waterproof to 80 minutes, which makes me nervous. I don't like to use waterproof, unless I'm going in the water. And this is for sensitive. And it's really weird. It says that the cap turns blue in harmful UV rays. So I guess if you were at the beach, the lake, the pool, the whatever, and you had this out laying beside you, it would turn blue and say, hey, you're in harmful UV rays. But, that is the point if we're in a sunscreen. Let's see if this has a screwy thing. It does. So we take this off. Obviously, I have not tried this. I'm a little afraid. I do not like mineral sunscreens and stuff like this. I just feel like it's going to be a thick, gloopy mess. I'm just going to shake it just for kicks. And I got my teaspoon out. So the proper measurement for how much you need. Let's backtrack. You wonder, how do they determine this is a 50 SPF? Well, they do tests, and they do tests based on dosage. Sunscreen is dosage specific. Oh my God. I saw this Gwyneth Paltrow thing the other day. I think it was for Vogue or something. And she says, I do sunscreen, but I'm not the kind of person I do sunscreen all over my face. So I just take a little, and I'm telling you, like that much. And she just puts it on her nose and on the tops of her cheeks. I'm like, are you kidding me? Stop. That's not how to put on sunscreen, you guys. There's a certain amount, there's a certain measurement to determine what your SPF is. And you have to have a certain amount on your face in order to get that SPF. So the formula is 2 milligrams per square centimeter of surface. And there was a dermatologist who did the math, and he said for his face it was basically a quarter teaspoon. Since women tend to be a little bit smaller, quarter teaspoon for face and neck is probably going to be fine. Voila, quarter teaspoon. Because you need to get used to what this looks like in your hand, I suggest you measure it out. So this is a heaping quarter teaspoon, and that's going to be fine. I'm just going to empty this into my hand so you can see how much this is. And there's still, of course, some stuck here. By the way, wash your teaspoons after you do this. You don't want to measure any spices. That's what it looks like. And what color is it? It's white. So I'm going to do something that I don't like to do, and that is put it on in portions, because I am planning to do another video today, and I don't want to look like a freak. But generally, I want to just get all my sunscreen on at one time, and it is quite doable. But when you're working with something that's white, I feel like, yeah, maybe I'll go a little slower. This has a little bit of a thickness to it, reminiscent of other sunscreens that I have tried, but it's much more manageable. As you can see, it's smoothing across my face very nicely. Take a look at, old CeraVe sunscreen video. I have a sunscreen playlist, an old Neutrogena, even an Aveeno, where they feel like Elmer's glue, and you really have to stretch them across your face. This does not have that feeling. It looks like it, though. It looks kind of similar, but it's not the same experience putting it on. Now, I've already done my chest. I haven't decided what I'm going to wear today, so we'll see. I'm sure I was told that this disappears into the skin. And this is not disappearing into the skin. Now, there's no weirdness. Well, there is weirdness. Okay, let's keep on going. I'm not going to put this under my eyes. This is not the kind of product that I want anywhere near my eyes. I'll wear sunglasses instead. I shouldn't be advising this to you, but Wow. Wow, you guys, come on, man. I know people recommended this. I get it just a little bit under my eyes so it don't look as scary. But, okay, it feels nice. I will say that. It feels nice. It's not sticky or goopy. But it's not really blending in totally evenly. And I don't know if I should just sit here and keep on blending. And I do feel like, I know why it's called Blue Lizard. I feel like I look blue. Here comes Lucy. She's like, why are you doing a video so early today, Mom? Hi, baby. It feels moisturizing. Maybe not hydrating. I find minerals to be very drying. I think zinc is actually the one that dries me, that I'm sensitive to, because I have sunscreens that are titanium and they don't bother me at all. So let's see how this ends up feeling after it dries down. Let's see if it does dry down, because it does not feel anywhere near dry. All right, you guys, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait 5 minutes and come back and see what's going on. This is a bummer. Okay, you guys, from the time I finished this, so I kept on talking, I put some on my arms, and I turned off the camera. It's been 10 minutes, and there is no change. I will say, I don't know how much I put on my arm, probably not enough, but it blended in. When you blend in really, really hard, I probably didn't put enough on. But it feels very, very emollient. This is not the kind of thing you want to go in the garden with and then sit on your sofa afterwards, because it's going to rub off on other things. So for me, if I were to use this on the body, it would be when I'm definitely outside for a period of time, and I would wash off when I do come back in. But for me, it's more like, you know, for swimming. So we're going to rub it in again and see if that helps. It still doesn't have a sticky feeling on the face while it does at the arms. So I think I can attribute that to my skincare, really, more than anything. So my arms, I took a shower last night and I didn't put any lotion on my arms. And this morning, of course, I did my vitamin C and my moisturizers. And that's a little better, I think. We're going to give it another 10 minutes. Okay, you guys, it's 10 minutes later, which means this has been on for 20 minutes and it still looks pretty white. And it still feels, it moves around a little too easily. It has a greasy kind of feel to it. And I just have very bad feeling about makeup. I think if I had something that was really matte, this would be what might work with that. But I don't have anything really matte. I don't think I have anything even close to matte. So Reboot's what we usually do, and we're gonna do it again. I love the smell of the Reboot. It just has this clean, it's like that same experience when you use the Lizard Mineral or the Luminous Silk from Armani. The same sensation, like, oh, there's that familiar smell that I just like so much. And I always do this with my fingers, so that's what we're going to do. I just feel like this is not going to shut up, and my face looks absolutely soaking wet. Let's get the mirror and see what's going on. Well, as you can see, I kind of massaged, and what I was doing was thinking, let's just move these two things together. It's like I'm blending the foundation and the sunscreen, but instead of doing it on my hand, I'm doing it on the face. which is kind of the only option if your sunscreen is just not going to set up. And it just moves around so much. Like I just saw a dark spot right here, and all I had to do is go like that. This is not, it's not promising, you guys. I just don't think this is going to set. This is something you would have to throw a pound of powder on. And remember, I already let this set up for 20 minutes. Powder puff, Laura Mercier. So, you know, I may as well give you a little bit of a lesson on how to use powder, how professional makeup artists who I have worked with use powder. I have a small one in here, but we're going to need the big one. They pour the powder in the puff. Just get it all over the puff, right? This is very different than the kind they use. They actually do use that Joe Blasco, I think it is. They get it in there, boom, and they go like this. They rub the powder into the puff. Just like I like to work my powder into my brush and then knock off the excess, they do the same thing. Although oftentimes what they'll do is they'll put it in one particular area like that and then work it in. And when they do it that way, they're just looking for some spot stuff like right here. I'm pretty sure my foundation just came off. And usually you do a rolling motion, which is, I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to do that side than this side. This feels so weird, but I'm into, you know, neurotransmitters, and I don't know, you guys, I should have checked to see what this looked like before I did that. I think I just picked up some foundation, and we're gonna do some more. And roll. And roll. Yeah, I do feel like I'm picking up. I got a lot that time. And more. I am going to go to the grocery store and go to Sephora very quickly and be back in, I'll be back in like an hour and 15, and we'll see what it looks like. Because now I'm thinking maybe it's already shiny again right here. So we'll be back in an hour and see what's going on. All right, you guys, it's an hour later. I wore my mask for probably half an hour, and the foundation was definitely rubbed off in the mask. A lot came off the chin, which is normal for me, but not right here. That's not normal. Yeah, it's not, it's not the greatest thing in the world, you guys. I would put it this way. If you are into outdoor sports, water sports, bicycling, hiking, running, whatever, then this might be something that you want to do because it is not drying, but it never really sets down. So on my hands where I didn't put full strength, it felt moisturizing, and I could feel the oils a little bit. On the forearm, I really didn't use enough, and the forearm actually feels really nice and moisturized. So if you don't use enough, it feels very nice on the body. If you use enough, it feels greasy, and, you know, my shine is back, which, you know, I was breathing, so the humidity I can see, but there's shine back on my forehead as well. It's not egregiously shiny, but I did throw a lot of powder on it. For me, this is not something I would want to wear under my foundation. It was a lot of work. It basically took me 20 minutes to put on my sunscreen because I put it on in 2 parts. No, because it actually took me longer. I put it on in 2 parts, then I waited 10 minutes, and that wasn't so good, and then I waited another 10 minutes, and that was a little bit better. The foundation moved with it because it was as if I was blending it in my hand, because it was so moist still, but I was just blending it on my face. I felt I was blending the sunscreen and the foundation, not that the foundation was on top of it. And then, you know, powdered and got a decent effect. I didn't do any of my other makeup, so it doesn't itch. It doesn't feel drying. On the other hand, it feels really greasy. I don't mind that feeling, honestly, but I don't want to put makeup on top of it. I don't mind it on my body to an extent. I mean, I don't want it all over my seatbelt. I don't want it all over my sofa. Do you know what I mean? So I think more for outside sports, but those are my feelings. You do you, whatever you're comfortable with. For me, this would be a strictly pool kind of situation, and I also wouldn't wear it to full strength because that whiteness doesn't really go away all that much. And if I actually am among other humans, I don't want to look like that. I don't mind looking like this, but I probably only have 25 SPF because I didn't use enough. And yeah, so there's Sunscreen Saturday, Mineral, Blue Lizard, 50 SPF for sensitive skin. And yeah, I can see how someone with sensitive skin might like this, but not if they wear makeup. That's it. Thanks for joining me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again. I was just chewing on some pistachios, and I'm wondering if they're in my teeth. Not so much. Okay, good. Until we meet again, be smart and safe, and I'm wishing you good health.